back, I'm Tedward, and today we're driving a Dune Buggy. This one's based off of a 1963 Volkswagen Beetle, hence the term buggy, because it's a bug. And the way to make a Dune Buggy, basically, you shorten a Beetle chassis, you toss on a fiberglass body, and now you're ready to go off-road and have some fun. Most people associate the Dune Buggy with the Myers Manx, because Bruce Myers invented the Dune Buggy in the early 60s. I believe the first one was 1964. This one is a Dune Digger III. It came from a shop out of Newton, Massachusetts called B&D Speed Shop, which is really cool that a local shop created such a thing. However, they didn't build the whole vehicle because the original owner at the age of 15 here in Massachusetts actually assembled the car. He found a 1963 Volkswagen chassis, he shortened it, and then he bought the body from B&D Speed Shop and assembled the car. That, of course, was in the early 70s. It's been through a few lives since then, but a lot of the original things still stand true today. Even this painted roll bar. Apparently, the chrome roll bar was $39, and he couldn't afford the chrome, so he got this one for $19. Kind of fun. I'm glad he kept it. It's powered by a 1600cc air-cooled Volkswagen engine. We'll be careful with these cotter pins not to scratch this insane purple paint with enough metal flake to probably increase the curb weight of this in a noticeable way. But under here, it's very simple. But the nice thing, we've got an oil pressure gauge just to make sure we're running all right. Lots of chrome, as you would. And there's something very charming about these giant exhaust pipes coming out of this little motor. I love it. It's got a 2-barrel carburetor, so should have plenty of airflow and throttle response out of it. I just can't wait to take it for a ride. I will say it's larger than I expected, and that's because it's the Dune Digger III. Apparently the 1 and 2 had shorter overhang on the rear end, so this one is more car-like and probably easier to make legal on the street. And what I love about Dune Buggies is their customizability. There's always these little odd things on the car, like even the fuel filler looks like it came off of a C2 Corvette, but of course then underneath we've got a Volkswagen fuel tank. To get in, there's no doors. We just hop over the side of the vehicle and in we go. These pedals are wild, pretty standard stuff for the clutch and brake, but the throttle, it's just on a little roller wheel, which I'm gonna have to get used to that. That's a little different for me. Got a nice Hirsch shifter because you gotta have some Americana involved in this thing. And let's go take it out. Oh, what a legend. You even put the seat on rails. I was expecting that to be fixed. Cool, short people like me can get in it. Gotta love that Volkswagen key with a little purple paint on it to let you know which one is yours if you're at the show. Fuel pump. Jumps right to life. That's fantastic. All right, let's go take it out for a ride. I'm gonna put my earmuffs on, and for those of you that don't understand the earmuffs, I keep the microphones in my ears. So the earmuffs are not because I'm cold, the earmuffs are to prevent wind noise on the audio, so that way you can actually hear what's going on. The gearing is tall. Each gear is a nice big leap. The seats are pretty supportive. It's easy to drive. It's not that ridiculous. You know, you can pitch it into a corner, have a little fun. The brakes feel really nice. I mean, part of that is just because the vehicle's so light, there's not much to it. But the other thing is that you've got disc brakes up front, drums in the rear. So those disc brakes up front are doing a nice job keeping that pedal feel solid, making sure that I'm getting a good bite when I get into it. The character of this motor is fantastic. Lots of low-end grunt. Climbs up through the revs nicely. But, you know, there's not a lot of power, but there's enough torque to really get you going and get out of your own way, which is exactly what you want. I'm brave enough to take it out on the highway. This is just fine for me. You've got a small air cooler in the back, not complex. You're not worried about coolant lines. I mean, you can really just chop this thing together. Anybody with a little bit of fabrication know-how could have built one of these, as long as you get yourself the fiberglass body and you know how to chop a chassis. But because of that, I'm sure a lot of them are just laid dead and dormant, laid to waste, rotting somewhere. You know, it's got to be a special type of person that wants to keep driving it. If this is in your family, maybe dad loved it, but maybe the kids don't. Maybe they don't keep driving it. And, you know, we know how it gets when you let cars lie dormant. They don't like it. They want to be driven. You got to drive the cars. So this one, it's lived a few different lives. He's definitely upgraded it over the years and changed things. Even the color, it's been a few different colors. It was a, oh wow, look at this. This is a 56. Let's go see what this is. Just hanging out with all the classics today. Yes. Let's have a look. That's the ticket. '56? 57. Very nice. Gorgeous. Thanks. 63. What are the odds, man? Look how cool that is. That's like a legit, oh man, look at that. Oh shit. That was close. I don't want to get on the highway. I'm happy here. This is fine. The owner daily drove this car in the early 70s, even in the winter. He got a gas-powered heater, t-shirt, gas heater, winter driving dune buggy in New England. Absolutely phenomenal. I love it when you got a story behind a car. I love it when you've got an owner that really knows the car inside and out. Thank God we figured it out. I really did not want to get on the highway there. Not afraid of it, but you know, I don't need to go 60 miles an hour in this thing. I'm good. Simple, right? I mean, it's all right there. There's nothing that outrageous about it. But it's tactile, as you'd imagine, because there's clearly no power steering. We're just connected right to the front wheels. Everything's transmitted nicely through here, but because we've got some nice big juicy sidewall, it's actually pretty comfortable to drive. I mean, you know, it may be a testament to a good alignment as well. That's fine. We'll give them the credit for that. What's wild when you're driving it too, though, is you can see the reflection of the car in the headlights, those big chrome headlights, so you can actually see yourself in the mirror. You gotta be careful though, because the sun hits it just the right way. It comes straight into your eyes. Gearbox is an old Beetle. If you've driven an old Beetle, that's what it feels like. It's pretty simple. Reverse is way down and over next to second gear. Makes me a little nervous for that 3-2 downshift. What a fun thing to drive. I feel like it just puts a smile on everybody's face too. People don't know what to make of this stuff. All right. nice and easy in a second. There we go. I gotta say, nobody's having as much fun as me. And when we're talking about dune buggies, you know, convertible seems to be kind of a silly term. It's just open. It's just completely open. A convertible, you feel like you're a little more inside of a vehicle just with the top down. This, I just feel like I'm exposed to the elements, and I'm quite thankful for a windshield, because a windshield means that I can do this and my eyes aren't watering at 30 miles an hour. That Jeep was really tricky to drive. You know, the cool thing about this thing, you know, it's sporty, it's fun, it's a blast, everybody loves it, but you're also not worried about breaking it. We're nice and high off the ground. I don't have to think about, ooh, is this lip gonna hit the edge? Am I gonna bottom it out? No, you can jump the damn thing. It's fantastic. So there you have it, an American icon, the Dune Buggy, based off of a German people's car. How odd. But I don't know whether to play AC/DC or the Beach Boys in this thing. Like, what's the vibe? It feels a little Munsters, but it also feels like that 50s beach time Americana crap, you know? I don't know. I don't know what the real vibe is. Maybe it just transcends it all. Here's our LARPers. Hey guys. Oh, what a fun sound. Thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Don't forget to respect the drive, and I'll see you in the next one. In California, I drove that old Willys Jeep, and I'll tell you what, this feels so much safer. I don't feel as death trappy as that rusted out vehicle, even though the frame on that car was great. You know, I actually feel contained in here, and I apologize. I know some of you really hate that I wear shorts in these videos, but it's warm. It's a hot summer day in Massachusetts, and I want to be comfortable. No tachometer, just a Speedo, and really no safety. I mean, this thing is such a blast to drive.